You've been submitting them and we've been collecting them. Today, we're taking a look at your videos. We're going to be diving deep in seeing what you're doing within your videos to perhaps get people not to stick around the entire time. Or maybe you're doing such a good job that we use your video as an example of what everybody should be doing. We're going to dive into all of that and more. We'll even be taking some of your questions. It's going to be an awesome couple of hours. And if you're watching this after it was a live stream, and you didn't get to submit your channel, we do these every single week at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we do these on Tuesdays as well. We do channel audits. So we'll get into all of that info here in a bit. But at first, Jeff is getting impatient. How's it going?
Doing well, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I accuse you of being impatient. How do you feel about that?
That's fine. I'll allow it.
You'll get me back?
Yeah, that's all right.
So Jeff is here with us today, checking out your channels. We're doing the video reviews. And the way this works, I don't have a fancy intro video for that. The way this works, though, is that down below, you're going to find two forms. One of them is for non-gaming channels. The other one is for gaming channels. And that's because we tend to get very similar amounts of responses on both of these. So be sure to fill out the correct form down below. If you feel you fall into both categories, then that's confusing. And our advice would probably be to pick one thing. So there you go. You already got your channel review all done. We're then going to pick randomly, but first we did pre-select some channels, and we started with the ones who managed to submit first on this form when it went live, because we do clear these every week. And so right when I put out the live stream and I cleared the forms, this channel was the first to submit on the non-gaming form. They are the Brickaniac. I hope I'm saying that right. And they have 30,000 subscribers plus, which is pretty freaking cool. They have let's see, a question for us. How can I maintain a growth spike? Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry. How can I maintain a growth spike? So Jeff and I were talking about this just before we went live. I wonder what they're referring to, and we think you're referring to this video right here with 1.2 million views. I think, Jeff, that's fair to say we should probably look at this video.
Yeah.
And try to discern what's going on with the more recent videos from there. Because we already have some theories. But here we go. It's called I Made Lego Horror Sets Because Lego Didn't Want to.
At first,
we're going to watch the first maybe like 30 seconds or so, and then see what we can see.
At first, LEGO horror sets seem basically impossible, considering just how family-friendly LEGO likes to be. But in recent years, they've been doing a lot more adult-oriented sets, such as The Office, Friends, Seinfeld, and of course, Stranger Things. Still, they have yet to do a set based on anything rated R, but what if they did? I mean, that would be incredibly unexpected. However, it'd open up the doors to a whole world of sets that wouldn't have been previously possible. And since Halloween is right around the corner, today we'll be looking at what could happen if LEGO made sets based on horror movies. First off, when you think of horror and
30 seconds. That almost timed perfectly. What are your initial thoughts there?
That's pretty good. It brings you in. It's kind of giving you some context around why we don't see a lot of this, like coming out of LEGO, which is good because it makes it more accessible to people who aren't in, like, of the people who are like, whether they're huge Lego fans or AFOLs, you know, adult fans of Lego. So if you're not like super in and you kind of know this stuff, then it makes it more accessible for just like a casual Lego fan, or maybe somebody who might be interested in getting some Lego horror sets. So yeah, I think it provides accessibility for a general viewer.
Yeah, there was a lot of really positive signs I saw there. I love the story that they're kind of telling here. I think the hook was really strong, and I think when we tell people, because you'll hear this advice today probably a number of times, and we say it in a kind of a reckless way, but we tell people to stop doing intros. And when we say that, I want to make it clear what we mean is these intros that people use where it's just like your channel name and some music, and it doesn't really give any context to that video that people clicked on. Those don't really add value. This, as far as intros go, is how intros should look. This is like the right way to hook a viewer. It's not, we're not calling this really an intro. We're calling it a hook. The video started the second we clicked on it, and you didn't make us wait for anything. You didn't say, welcome back. I'm the Brickaniac, and today we're going to be checking out, you know what I mean? You didn't do that very boring kind of intro. You just started with a really interesting prompt. Like, Lego's never made any rated R sets. What if they did? And that supports the title that we clicked on too. I made Lego horror sets because Lego didn't want to. Fantastic title here. The thumbnail gave a lot of legitimacy to what you said, because these look legit. These look like they were actually created by Lego, and you're telling me they didn't make these. You did. I don't know if these were actually created by Lego or not, or you. I'm led to assume that you went out of your way to make those. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of customs out there too that people can design, and I've seen people do it both digitally and actually have people like print them. Like I've got a few customs myself that were never produced by Lego, but it was characters that I really wanted, which is funny because then eventually Lego ended up making them anyway. But but that's something they can do. But that thumbnail really makes it pop because you've got those classic horror characters. So like you got Freddy up there, you got Jason up there, you got Michael Myers. So you got stuff like that to me immediately catches my eye. Like, wow, that'd be really cool to have.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things going on right here. And the reason we're looking at this video is not because we want to critique this one. This one's doing just fine at over 1 million views from a month ago. The question they asked us was, how do they maintain a growth spike? A video like this is going to grow your audience. People are going to learn who you are. People are going to check out what you're doing next. And what you've done here in your latest video got 15,000 views. It's from 9 days ago. And you're getting 170 an hour according to our vidIQ stats here. I made Lego Fortnite sets because Lego didn't want to. So doubling down on the titling structure, doubling down on the thumbnail itself. You made a very similar thumbnail when you compare these two videos side by side. And you are doing this on a popular topic, again, like Fortnite. So we're going to watch and see just in like the first 30 seconds, like what if we notice something about the intro that maybe we feel like people might have clicked off where like versus this video where it was pretty much flawless.
Fortnite Chapter 3 just ended, so now seems like the perfect time to take a look back at the past year and make some Fortnite Chapter 3 Lego sets. My goal in this video is to make a custom set based off of each season from Chapter 3, with each set having something unique from each season. I also have a challenge for myself, and if you've been watching me for a while, then you know that vehicles are not my strong suit. So in this video, I've challenged myself to build 3 different vehicles. And the last one ended up being one of my favorite builds that I've made on this channel, so stay tuned. Anyway, let's get started with set number 1, which is based off of Winter.
All right, we got about 30 seconds there. I did notice a couple things that were a bit different. What about you?
Same. It felt less accessible for somebody who's not in the know. I'm not a Fortnite player, so all of that was foreign concept to me. So for me personally, I probably would have switched off. So this video is definitely going to have to be more for that. You're basically trying to find this Venn diagram of people who both are into Fortnite and Lego. Mm-hmm. And that's a very, very targeted audience, which is great. But that could be why this one is not popping off as quickly as the other one. Not to say it won't. It totally could when the next season of Fortnite starts to kick off. This one could see a big spike. But that could be kind of what's going on there. But what did you see?
So the first thing I noticed, and I agree with that. The first thing I noticed was the timing on this one. So this is what's said in the video.
Fortnite Chapter 3 just ended.
That is completely different than the one we saw before, because before it was Halloween's right around the corner. It's something that's happening in the future, whereas you're talking about something that's in the past now. And I know that might seem insignificant. However, something in the future is going to be something that is going to get views here soon, right? But something that's already happened isn't being searched. It's over. It is something that has happened. The right time to do this type of video would be leading up to Fortnite Chapter 4. Right? Like leading up to the next big Fortnite release rather than looking back on something that everyone's already over. So that's like the big difference to me as to why we saw a video with 1 million views versus a video that hasn't hit, 20,000 views yet, where it absolutely should have.
Yeah. Timing is something incredibly powerful when it comes to YouTube. A lot of people tend to talk about the 3 T's, right? Your topic, your thumbnail, and your title being super, super important. The 4th T, and I think equally as important, is timing. So timing of a video, before a massive spike. So that could be what's going on, because they were asking about how to maintain a spike, which can prove to be difficult unless you can have a video that is very relevant to a topic that is trending at this time, or something that is about to be trending, right? So if you can get a video out just before you get a trend spike, like videos about Valentine's Day being released at the very beginning of February, things of that nature. It's when you know something's coming, so you can get ahead of it. That's where you can see that happening, but that is difficult to duplicate.
Yeah. and they did a flawless job with the horror set. And it looks like, Stranger Things, I feel like 4 months ago was the right time to be doing these. You got hundreds of thousands of views. I'm sure you're not disappointed by the performance of these, regardless.
Yeah.
You hit this topic really hard. And in fact, it looks like we've audited you before, because I see the red line right here telling us that we have looked at
We
these.
have. Yeah. I think we did not a video audit, but a channel audit on this channel.
Yeah.
But that was the right move anyway. And if I remember correctly, Stranger Things, actually, there is an actual Lego set for that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there probably is.
Yeah.
But they made Starcourt Mall. They made like the different set pieces. I think that's really, really smart. And I think you should continue doing this. But if you want to maintain big spikes like this, the next thing you need to be doing is thinking about what are the big things happening in the world. Right now, we're approaching we're in the middle of the holiday season right now. So there's like Christmas and Hanukkah, and there's all these whatever one's most relevant to you, whatever holiday you celebrate around this time of year, would be great to try and think of a fun, catchy way. When we're in Halloween mode, we get horror movies. When we're in this part of the holiday season, we get Christmas movies and things like that. So is there Lego Christmas movie sets? Which ones are popular, which ones are not, and which ones are missing? And that's just one idea. That's just one way you can take this. Will it be as successful? I don't know. I feel like Halloween has a different vibe to it. I feel like people are in a different mindset when they're in this time of year. So I don't know if you're going to see 1 million views from it, but you should definitely be thinking about like what's going on in the world. And you want to get there before, you want to get there during the hype, not after. You don't want to cover something after it's over if possible.
Yeah, definitely getting ahead of the curve is always going to be your best bet when possible. So yeah, no, I completely agree. But they're doing stuff right. Like, don't get me wrong, and that's one thing I want them to not take away from this. It's not like they're doing anything wrong. And I've had huge videos take off, not to the level of 1 million viewed video, nothing like that. But it's very difficult to maintain, and this is why I always stress to people: whenever you have an idea for a video, always have multiple ideas that can spin off of that video, right? So sometimes it's doable, sometimes it's not. Depends on the kind of content you make. But every time I have an idea for a video, just in case it takes off, I always have 2 additional ones. And this is all stuff that I do in pre-production, right? So like, let's say I know my next video is going to come out on Sunday, let's say for example, and I know the title of that video because I always have my title and I try to get my thumbnail together before I even start shooting the video. I'm also, when I do that title, I'm also going to come up with 2 additional spin-off titles. And that way I can already kind of have an idea. Like, let's say this video just goes viral. Then I don't even have to think about it. I already have the next 2 ideas that are spin-offs of that first one ready to go. I already know what I need to do. I don't have to think about it. I just have to shoot those videos. So always have those ideas on the back burner whenever possible. It takes a little extra thought, might take you an extra 15 minutes and half hour, but it's definitely worth it so you can double down on success.
Yep. And I think you've got a lot of really good ideas here. I would be, if I was in your position now at 33,000 subscribers, I'd be happy with any video getting over 100,000 views. Any video at all. And that's already being generous. Really, I'd be happy with anything over my subscriber count, honestly. But because of the amount of views you're getting on these latest videos from just a few months ago, I think the level I would be aiming for consistently is at least 100,000 views. And for you, just based on this page we're looking at right now, that's low. But that's where I'd want to be. So when I release a video that gets 15,000 views, I'm really second guessing myself. Now I'm really feeling, this is how I would internalize it. I'm feeling like, okay, something's slipping up here. What's going on? And so hopefully us kind of walking through this with just a fresh set of eyes has been helpful to you, like this creator in particular. But hopefully for everybody else who has nothing to do with Lego on YouTube, you can kind of see like the tactics we're recommending for this channel that's in a way different part of its journey than you might be. These are the types of things they'll be needing to think about. And the advice is kind of similar here. I think what they should do is sit down and look at the schedule of maybe what's coming up in the MCU. And they always release that nice and early. So we already have a really good look at what's coming up over the next few years for Marvel content. I mentioned that because there's a lot of Marvel stuff. And then look at stuff like Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's dated. But what happened? Why are people all over this? Well, Breaking Bad was one of the most popular TV shows for its time. It continues to be thanks to Netflix and other streaming services. And there would never be a Lego Breaking Bad set because, as you mentioned in your other video, like Lego's not making rated R sets, but you can continue finding little videos like this to put out every once in a while that are between your big tentpole releases, you know. And tentpole isn't necessarily the right term. The big movie releases and things like that you're also going to cover. So keep focusing on the more unbelievable ones. Fortnite Lego set is totally believable to me because there's Minecraft Lego sets. That might be the other problem with the Fortnite video. It's just too believable. And your channel is thriving off unbelievable content. So keep thinking about like The Office, Breaking Bad, things that Lego just won't touch. Like that's your bread and butter. Like that's what's really, from my perspective, that's what's doing good here. And you guys, if you get content that's taking off like this, you will notice these trends. You will start to pick it apart, but it does help to zoom out. It does help to take yourself away from the content, like emotionally. And because we have the benefit of not being the creator themselves, we can sit here and go, wow, okay, I see this trend now. I see Breaking Bad, I see The Office, I see horror movies, I see Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm seeing things that are a bit unbelievable. Like Lego didn't make this. Oh, they made this. And it's that light bulb moment that I get when I look at all of these titles and thumbnails. You know, like, okay, that is flipping cool. I need to know what's going on here. How can I make a Lego set? Maybe that's a video you do too. How do you make these custom characters? You know? So yeah, I hope any of that was helpful.
No, I'm sure they got plenty to take away from that, man.
Yes, and I hope everyone else did too. So let's check out the first gaming channel. And before we do, I want to let everybody know, and this has happened a couple times, so I don't mention it early enough. Super chats are on. You are not obligated to give a super chat. We turned them on a while back, and people started giving super chats and asking questions. So we use those to answer questions. But what we don't do is we do not do video reviews or channel audits based on super chats. So if you were thinking about trying to buy your way in or anything like that, it is going to be random for you. I do apologize. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because yesterday a few people thought they could get a channel on it. And I want to disappoint you now. So let's jump into the first gaming channel.
Here we go. How's that, Dan?
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Maybe we'll just do that next time. It's Brush Wander. This is going to be a gaming channel. And they said, when should you do live streams? Sorry. And how do you optimize them to be recommended? You've come to the right place.
Yep.
Great question. And we are still going to take a look at the videos that you're doing. We want to give you some pointers there, but we do notice that you are in fact doing live streams. You did one 2 weeks ago. And it looks like you've done a couple in the last few months just to kind of maybe just test it out. We saw a couple shorts in the channel, but mostly it seems like your more consistent content is in videos. So we'll get to that. Let's just take a look at what you're doing in videos first, because I imagine for live streaming, you're going to want these view counts up a little bit more. These early like subscribers and viewers you're getting, these are the people that are going to get recommended your live streams. So we got to make sure that your video game is on point. So I'm going to mute it because it sounds like I don't know about the music for us. And it seems like there's not going to be commentary. Yeah, it seems like it's just going to be music and going through the level. Okay, so about 20 seconds in, I think we kind of get the point of the video, Jeff. I will get started and say that, in my opinion, there's not quite enough here to make me feel like this content is, it's making me ask why. Like, who is this content for? Who did you make this video for specifically? And my other question would be, are you modeling this channel off of a similar channel that's doing a similar thing? Because that's going to be the biggest thing. If you can find somebody in your space that's doing pretty much what you would like to be doing, and they're very successful at it, you can try and look at their example that they're setting for you and see, okay, how are their thumbnails versus my thumbnails? What are their videos like versus my videos? Are they using commentary? Do they just use music? How long are the videos? What are the comments saying about these videos? Do people seem to be warm and receptive towards these, or do they, tend to click off really soon because they're leaving mean comments? I'd be looking at all of that. And it's not to compare yourself to another creator. You don't want to do that. It's just to learn about the space that you're in, learn more about the audience that you are also trying to cater your content to. Right now, based on just the music and running through this level, and it looks like you're very good at the game, and that's fine. What else is being brought to the table in this video? Because I don't really know what I'm going to get out of the rest of the channel here. What about you?
No, I mean, I agree. And that's the thing. That's the thing about competitor research, right? This happens a lot because I have a lot of people come up to me, a lot of students that say, oh, well, my channel is not doing well because the other channels in my niche are getting thousands of views and thousands of subscribers, this and that. I'm like, all you're looking at is the numbers and and sort of vanity metrics. I'm like, what you need to be looking at is what is making them successful, right? So pull your emotions out of it. Get out of your feelings. Yeah. Firstly, get out of your feelings and then start taking an objective look at what are they doing better than you, right? Why are people watching their stuff? Why? Pull that strategy. So usually you'll find these top channels in your niche, take like 2 or 3 of them and start looking at what are they doing in common? What are they doing? You'll see these correlations, right? Like the 3 most successful channels are doing no intro, or the 3 most successful channels in my niche don't have an outro, or their editing is really fast, or they're showing a lot of B-roll, or whatever it might be in your niche. But you'll start noticing these patterns that they're doing, and that's kind of the strategy you can start applying to yourself. But that's one of the things where we have to make sure that we get out of our feelings and can look at competitors on an objective basis.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Really good takeaway there. And yeah, never want people to sit there and like compare themselves. Like, wait a minute, they're getting 100 views every time they upload. Why aren't I? Our videos are the same.
You're asking the wrong question. You're asking the wrong question. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. And comparison can be the thief of joy if you don't like know exactly how to reframe that thought, right? So that's a mindset change that's required. Instead of thinking, why are they better than me? Start looking at the videos and start looking at multiple channels to see, wait a minute, when they do this, it seems to get the audience going. Or what do you like about it as a viewer? Like, what makes you like it? So really start looking at it more objectively.
Yeah, I'm noticing people in chat too really interested in just this channel as a whole. Someone I saw mention that this game's old. This is an older game, and why, like when you look, you can find a video with 2 million views, sure, but it's like 8 years old.
Yeah,
and that's
the trend for this game has passed, technically speaking, but they do have a nice core audience.
Yes, and I do think there are people who still watch this content. We have looked at a Geometry Dash channel somewhat recently. Give me 1 second, Jeff.
Yeah, so that's something that can happen. We have looked at another one of these channels before. I even took it upon myself to look at how this game itself was trending, and they had huge growth spikes for this exact game years ago. But the thing is, it hasn't died off. It's sort of just maintaining. Like, it's maintaining a level of interest, not huge, but it is maintaining a level of interest. We're not talking Minecraft numbers or Roblox or anything like that. But it is maintaining over a long period of time, which is good. But it also kind of caps how much attention you can bring to it.
Yeah, sorry, I was listening. I just had cat stuff just to.
Yeah, no worries, all
a couple feet away. So yeah, there's a lot of that stuff that I think this channel needs to kind of look into, and not saying it's impossible, but if you're going to compete in a space that's this old now, you're going to need to do more to compete in the space. There needs to be more brought to the table than running through levels and happening to be pretty good at them. Because we're also not, if we were to just put our channel audit hats on for a second, we're not seeing a lot of strategy in the titles and the thumbnails that are telling us enough to know that like this is worth watching. This is impressive for like a different reason.
Let's look at popular real quick when you get a sec.
So 3 months ago, they made a Minecraft video building the ultimate trap base in Minecraft, and it got 1,000 views.
Yeah.
So
that's very telling.
Yeah. So I'm glad you wanted to click on this, because this is also a thing we see a lot in certain channels. You'll see a channel that had a successful video from a while ago, and this wasn't that long ago. This video could still easily be getting views today. And there's a good chance that this video is bringing in today the wrong audience if you plan on being a Geometry Dash channel. But I mean, are you interested in Minecraft? Is this something like, were you expecting 1,000 views on this? Were you hoping for 1,000 views on this? If the answer is no, because you weren't going to make more than one, then you shouldn't have made it at all. But if you're kind of looking at this now and going, oh, I didn't realize that video was still getting views. If this is news to you, because sometimes it's news to me. Sometimes I don't check on videos after I upload them after a while. And, oh, wow, I didn't realize this video suddenly took off. You might have something here. Maybe people like your style. Maybe Minecraft is a direction for you. A lot of channels start out in Minecraft, and a lot of channels get the kind of views we were seeing on the front page with the Geometry Dash. A lot of channels get 10, 20, 50 views when they just start out. This is an hour-long video, and it has 1,000 views. So I'd be looking into this. I would be digging into the data on this video and then making that call. Do you want to be a Minecraft channel? Because that might be an opportunity for you.
Yep. And their question was about live streaming, correct? Is that what they had come to us for? So let's
Yes.
talk a little bit about that. What was the question on that?
So if they should live stream, how often, and how do you optimize them to be viewed later?
Yeah, got you. So you want a live stream for replay value, right? So basically, and this is for anyone who wants to live stream and have some replay value. This is literally what I do. This is my bread and butter for 2022 and moving forward into 2023. So treat your live streams the way you would treat a video, right? And by that, I mean, do your research, do your homework, get your title, get your topic of the stream. It shouldn't just be like, hey, let's watch me play a game. No, that's got no replay value. Think in your head, what would somebody want to click on, right? What's something that can live not only in search, but can also hit browse, right? So you have to have your title, your topic, you have to have your thumbnail ready. Get that stuff all together. Treat it like a regular video. If you do any sort of scripting, whether it's loose notes, anything like that, give it a structure. Give it a structure, right? So if you're going to talk about certain things, if you're going to do certain things, if you're going to show people certain things, map that all out, right? So that way it has an actual structure. The stream itself has a structure. And then after the stream is done, go in and timestamp it, right? So give the people the ability to jump to the sections that they want to watch. Yep. But first and foremost, it has to have a title like a regular video. It has to have a thumbnail like a regular video. And most importantly, when you're in the stream, don't waste people's time. Think about the people that are going to be watching it, not the people that are watching you live. Right? Yep. It's okay to interact with them, but get into the topic as quickly as possible, same way you would with a regular video. Just get straight into it. And you can even pass them, say, hey, I know you guys are here with me live. Well, let me get through this portion of it, and then, we'll definitely chat, here, in the live stream, however you want to do it. Cadence
it's still a live stream, right? Like you can be honest. You can be honest that you're optimizing it for those viewers who are going to watch later by saying certain things. Like it's still different than a video.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The beauty of it though is that as far as what I've seen from the evidence on my own channel, is that I'm getting impressions. I'm getting click through the same way I would on a regular video. I'm getting the same amount of YouTube actually showing it to the right audiences as I would with a regular video, because I am optimizing it for that purpose. Mm-hmm. So that's something to think about. How often you should stream is entirely up to you. Yep. That's, how build a schedule. But one thing I would tell you though, is be consistent. Yeah. If you're going to stream on a certain day, certain time, stick to it.
I would say that consistency advice goes double for live streams. It's, to me, and people would disagree with me, it is not important, in my opinion, for videos as much as it is for live streams. I think with videos, if you upload 3 days a week and you just need a break, there will be no harm. There will be no harm to your channel by not uploading that Wednesday video, right? You upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I need a day off. Take a day off. That's how I approach it. And yes, more videos can equal more growth because it's like more velocity, right? You're just like putting more stuff out there that people are enjoying, but you can't really make your best work if you are just making videos for consistency's sake and you're not focused on the quality of those videos as well. But for live streams, it definitely helps. I mean, people make time to come to your live streams. They happen once, and if people don't want to watch the replay and some people want to be there live, they will literally make time in their schedules to, come to your live stream. That means they're planning their dinner around your stream in some cases. Like, I'm going to eat dinner and then watch Bob 1234, or they want to have something to watch while they eat dinner. So like, I'm going to time my dinner. I know Bob 1234 starts streaming at 6 p.m. every night, so I'm going to make sure that I have my dinner ready then, so I can enjoy the live stream as I eat dinner. Like, people will literally plan their days around this stuff.
Yeah,
if they like,
I do that. Like, I have certain streams that start up at like my friends' streams that start up about 6 p.m., 7 p.m. in the evening. So let's say the one from last night, and it's funny because you say that, and that's literally what I did. I knew their stream was going to start at 6 p.m. At 5 p.m. my time. So I knew to kind of get like my dinner together, just before that, so that I could sit down and be able to watch them while I was eating my dinner. It's the timing thing of it. So people will build habits around your live stream schedule if they're into watching it live. And then otherwise, if it's Replay Squad, shout out to Replay Squad in the live stream. Be like, hey, listen, if you can't be here live and you're part of my Replay Squad, then hey, shout out to the Replay Squad. Love you guys. And use the timestamps if you want to skip around to certain sections. I leave those in there for you guys. Always acknowledge them because those are the ones that are going to get you the most views anyway. So
I wanted to show everybody something new we've been able to do. A shout out to Victoria, for helping us out with this. We're finally able to put chapters in our live streams because we have someone there to help us do that. This takes a lot of time. This takes going through the live streams and doing this after the fact for your viewers. But once you do these chapters, if you don't know, YouTube has this feature where it adds you've probably seen it, little notches in the timeline, and those notches represent the start of a new chapter. And so now we've been putting your channel name and what the type of channel it was in the chapter so that people can see, they can scroll around and see like what kind of channel audit that they're going to see and if their channel was selected. And this is a much more valuable way to have a live stream out there. And we only just started doing this, but I have to imagine as we let this live stream sit, the data is going to look a lot better now for us because more people are going to be watching after the fact and for longer. And if people are watching it longer, that means YouTube can feel comfortable recommending it to more people. So there's a lot there's a lot you can do with a live stream after it's been published. It does represent more work, but it's either this, and again, we're just talking about optimization. You don't have to do any of this, but it's either this or you could edit a video, which would also take a very long time. So it's nice that live streams still require good thumbnails and good titles, but no editing. You just do it and then you're done. And then if you want to optimize it further, this is one way you can do that.
Yep, absolutely. That's an easy way, and it's an easy win for viewer satisfaction, right? It's an easy win for that. I've never seen a downside to timestamping a video. Like I've never seen that. And I remember when it first came out, people were like, "Oh my God, people are going to skip watching my whole video. It's going to hurt my retention." I have not seen a single percentage loss in viewer retention. I've actually, if anything, I've seen spikes because of it, but I've never seen it come down. So overall, for using timestamps, it's been a net positive in my opinion.
Yeah. So those are advice, or those are our tips for live streaming, and we gave a lot of tips to the channel itself. We did back out and kind of do channel audits on this one. We're going to continue doing video reviews though. And the next channel we pre-selected was a homesteading channel, and they asked, looking to get longer average view duration, channel averages around 25%. All right. So we have their videos here. They post pretty consistently, and they get about, it looks like, 100 to 300 views per video, a couple breakout successes. Let's look at the latest one and see what we can see.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and welcome to Lohre Farm. Poor Daisy.
It's about 20 seconds in. I would say that was a fun introduction, like, just getting to see a lot of farm animals. Never a bad thing. Jeff, did you feel like, though, it could have been a bit of a stronger hook?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, no, for sure. Something to bring me in a little bit better as far as getting it started goes, but that could take sometimes it takes a little bit of planning that maybe they're not accustomed to. I'm just kind of spitballing here for them, but that could be what's going on. So something to kind of bring me in. And that's why a lot of channels that do stuff like this, you hear them do sort of a B-roll voiceover kind of thing as an intro. That's the hook. And then they move into this sort of like on the fly vlogging kind of style.
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering what, I guess title and thumbnail wise, the problem that you're going to solve for me in the video is not super clear in the title. It becomes a little bit more clear in the thumbnail with the text you've put. And then in the hook, the first 20 seconds of the video, really nothing to go off of there in terms of what I'm about to watch. Like, why did we make this video? So if I had to guess, without watching the rest of the video, I would guess that It's this comment right here, nothing ever stays the same. And the video title itself is Homesteading in a Winter Wonderland. So my brain is making this connection. If I took the time to read both of these and I took the time to think about it, which, spoiler alert, I would say most viewers will not. But if I took the time to think about those two things, I would think, okay, they are homesteading in the winter. They're showing what specifically doesn't stay the same. So if I have a homestead, maybe these are some things that I should take into account when the season changes. That's me being really imaginative and having to reach really far to try and determine what this video is about. But upon clicking on it, I'm still not sure. Even if I was willing to give this video a chance with the title and the thumbnail as it currently stands, the packaging of the video, I give it a chance. The hook of the video still hasn't told me why I'm here. I think that the cuts were nice. I think the music was nice. I like that the host had a really good audio quality. And I like the cute farm animals. But what's the story? Like, why are we here? Is what we're kind of missing. So the question that they asked us was about average view duration and how they're averaging about 25%. What that basically looks like for those who don't know, and we'll look at our live stream since I'm already on it. Live streams are always kind of bad though. We're talking about, oh, it's not here yet. Okay, we'll go to a different video.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's a little too soon.
Yeah, that was from yesterday. Okay, sorry. Let me go to it takes a little bit to get there. We're talking about the graph here. Okay, this is the average percentage viewed is what I assume they're referring to. So for them, it's about 25%. That means that it's low. we want this for us higher than 43%. We would like to be over 50% like every single video. Yeah. And this is the kind of headaches we give ourselves when a video has 43%. We're eventually going to go back through this video and we're going to pick it apart and we're going to try and figure out how could we have gotten more. But you'll notice if you look at our gray line down here, we're above average. Like we should, I'm not saying we're going to beat ourselves up over this, but we want to learn more and we want to improve this graph. We want to improve this number because the higher this number is, the more confidence YouTube has that, wow, like this is a video worth sharing. People click on it and they stick around. So that was their question.
Yeah. The one of the big things that you can do first is focusing on that 30 seconds, the first 30 seconds of the video. That can be really super helpful at bringing that number up, and also how you end your videos, right? If you're giving away, so your video exit strategy. So if you're giving away that it's over, if you're giving people exit words, like a minute, 2 minutes before, whatever it might be, or you're saying stuff like, so in conclusion, or to wrap this up, and then you waffle on for another 2 minutes, they're dipping. As soon as you give them that inkling that your video is going to end, they're out, and that's going to bring the overall retention down. So one of the best ways that I've seen for people to bring that number up has been to, as soon as they know that their video's over, as soon as you know your video's over, end it. Don't waffle on about anything. Just say, hey, and if you're interested in another video about blank topic, check out the video I'm gonna leave for you right up here on the screen, and then get out of there, right? You don't need to have end screen, end card playing for 20 seconds. My end screens normally show for between 5 and 10 seconds. I'm out just like that. So as soon as people know, get out of there. Just doing that quick exit, because I was getting something like 20, 25, percent ish overall, because at the very end I was less than 10% because everybody already left. But by changing that strategy, started pushing me up to over 35%, over 40. And that's what made a big difference. So how you start the video, how you end the video would be like the quickest tips for you if you want to bring that up.
Yeah. Those are the biggest things. And like that first 30 seconds, the reason YouTube always highlights that on your graph is because it's the most important bit. That's the part where people decide, are we going to stick around or are we leaving? Are we going away? And are we never coming back? I would say if people make it halfway through your video, they pause it, there's a good chance they may come back and want to finish it later. I do that all the time. I'm really glad YouTube holds my place in videos, because I will start watching a 20-minute video. I'll get halfway through it, and then my time to watch videos happens to be up. And so I just put my phone back in my pocket and I come back to it later. I would say that the 30-second mark is more detrimental, because if I'm not watching a video after that, in that first 30 seconds, if I've already left, if I stopped at 20 seconds in, it's not because I ran out of time. It's because I'm not interested, and it's nothing personal. Usually it's just sometimes I click on a video and it's not what I thought it was, sometimes it is something in the video. It is the audio. It's crackling. It's the you know, the image quality is so bad that they're pointing at stuff, but I can't see what it is because it's all grainy. Like there's so many factors that go into that, but it's a really strong sign if you can keep people entertained. If you can keep this dip, everyone has this dip, by the way. Don't be too alarmed by the little slope here. Everybody has this, but it's how intense is it, you know? And I've seen ones that will look way worse than this. So that's what we want to like help you improve. And as you can see by our graph here, that's what we're trying to improve. That's what the whole purpose of this live stream is this graph right here.
Yep. Something to keep in mind, man. But that's excellent question. Excellent conversation around it.
Yep. So yeah, watch out for the packaging on your video. And I'm willing to bet there is a really good reason you made this. It just needs to be clear. Do not let your viewers think that hard, like I was trying to do, about what this video is about. It should be super, super crystal clear before they click, and it has to happen fast.
Yep, agreed.
I want to talk about outros. Let's just see how they end a video, because Jeff, you did mention you've short end screens. We know that if you can get people to watch your video to the end and get them to go to a new video, that improves what's called session watch time. And it's something we talk about at least once every one of these live streams. Can you get a watch session going with one viewer? Can one viewer watch 2 of your videos in one session? A session meaning someone opened YouTube and they started watching videos. So they've just began a session. I want them to click on your channel, and I want their entire session to be in your channel. That's one of the strategies we're going to go over right now.
Cat though, especially for one that just showed up.
That cat's
Sit,
adorable.
Sadie, sit. Good dog.
So they use this outro screen here. You know, Lohre Farm Productions. We have the picture of their dog, and then there is another video. They put 2 elements here, which I like. There's not a lot of choices. You can either subscribe or you can watch the next video. And it says homesteading full-time with jobs. This is how we do it. That's what it says in the thumbnail. What I would have liked, instead of what you did with this outro screen, is I would have liked you, the host, to have said, because you're holding this cat and you're kind of ending your video by talking about how this cat showed up one day and so on and so forth. What if it was another video about your cats? And that was the outro screen itself. That's what you're going to try to get people to watch next, because right now we're getting a lot of interest here in the cats. The cats are in the beginning, they're in the end. I think if you have another video about these cats, that should be the next video. And you should stay on screen. Don't put up this static image. Stay on screen and say, if you want to see even more of these little guys, we got this video right here where when they first showed up on the farm. I'm just making that up, but you get my point. Then you point, the video shows up on your end screen. Not only have you given me a reason to watch, you've given me a reason to watch as a viewer who already stuck through this whole video, and you're telling me you have something similar to it that I can go watch right now. I don't have to wait for your next upload. You already got me covered. That's what we want you to do. Everybody, I don't care what kind of channel you have. You should all be doing this tactic, however it works for you. And that's my speech.
Yeah. You got to give them a reason to watch the next video. And that's having, I mean, the session starting is awesome. Getting multiple instances of your channel into their watch history.
Yep.
They don't even have to subscribe, because YouTube's going to automatically recommend your videos to them whenever you drop a new one. So getting them to watch multiple videos. And this is why I always link relevant videos. Like if I'm talking about stuff that's under $100, at the end of the video, I'm going to say, hey, if you're interested in seeing my top pick of something under $100, check out this video right here. And then I dip. So, you know, get them to the next video, get them to watch multiple videos. So I don't want them to watch my video one time. I want them to sit there and watch multiples of my videos. And that way YouTube knows who to recommend my videos to whenever I drop something new or whenever I stream.
Yep. You will likely get real estate on this home feed for that viewer if they watch more than one of your videos in one sitting.
Yep.
If they sit through one entire video, that's a good sign. But that second video they watch, that's like guaranteed placement on the screen for them.
Yep. It happens. I mean, it happens to me. Like if I see a new channel that I like, I'll click on one video, then I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. And then at the end, when the end screen comes up and you get all those options, I'll see their face again. I'm like, oh, let me check out the second one. After that, man, I could walk away from YouTube, you know, come back the next day, and then I'll see 4 or 5 of their videos on my homepage, because YouTube's like, hey, if you watch 2 of their videos, even though you didn't subscribe, but let's get you watching. They don't care if you subscribe. They care if you're watching those videos. So keep that in mind.
So there you go. Get that session watch time up. Let's check out the next pre-selected channel. It's Trane Francks. I hope I'm saying that right. They had a very interesting question, Jeff. I picked this one mostly because of the question that they asked. I realize I have off-topic videos. I unlist them once I reach monetization. I said question. I meant comment. I was alarmed by this comment. They feel like they're putting videos on their channel that are off-topic, and they recognize our advice to that would be you probably shouldn't do that. So they wait until they hit a certain monetization goal that they've set for themselves, and then they unlist the video. And I'm endlessly confused. So I pull up the channel, and I do want to talk about this, but you know, they have some nice thumbnails, and to me, it seems like their topic is going to be, you know, maybe just kind of exploring the area where they live, checking out different like restaurants, things of that sort. So I wanted to watch one, and then maybe we can talk a little bit about that comment they left.
Join us as we visit Asakusa to see the temple and to sample some of the street foods.
So that's the first 30 seconds. I'll say that I liked, as far as the intro here, I liked that someone was talking immediately. And it was very clear, join us as we explore this place and check out this thing. And then we were introduced with 30 seconds of just clips of, you know, I don't know how long this goes on, but we stopped at 30 seconds, clips of the area they're exploring. And what I liked about it is that the clips changed every few seconds. Like, you didn't linger on any one shot for too long, which is what you want in these types of intros. You want there to be, you know, lots of movement. I do feel like it would have been fun to have you continue to talk, like to maybe start setting up the story and use all that as B-roll, but it's just an artistic choice. I don't, whether or not it would help with your retention is up for you to test. You could test a video in the future where you're talking under all that intro footage, and you can test one where you're not, and you can see what's the retention like in that first 30 seconds. Are people dipping really fast when you don't talk? Do they prefer the talking? Maybe they like it when it's just like, you know, it feels like they're the ones exploring because you're not talking now. They're just kind of like going along with you, and they get to see all the different shops and you know everything that's going on. So there's I think a debate to be had about whether or not there was enough happening in this intro.
Yeah, and that's sort of two different genres too, because there's sometimes where people kind of show you through a tour kind of a thing, like they kind of walk you through it and talk about it. And then there's the other type of content where it's literally just like a walking tour where no one's talking. And these two, which we would think are very parallel type, the viewership is very different. So the kind of person that doesn't want to hear any talking, that just wants to see what's going on. Like if I'm going to travel somewhere, I'll watch a video like that. But for me, mostly it's not going to be the non-talking video. Like if I'm going to visit a place I've never been to before, I want somebody that's experienced telling me about it. Like, hey, these are the places you want to see. This is where there's some good food. This is a good place to stay. Maybe stay away from these back alleys, whatever, you know, but just somebody that kind of can walk you through. That's my personal thing. Mm-hmm. So, but I like how it started. I mean, if they kept the format like this for this type of channel, it'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think they've definitely got something here, and they seem to know the area where they're in really well. So all of that is very positive. I wish I could see the videos that they're referring to that they felt the need to unlist.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. The thing is, you have to be careful with unlisting too, is because you can hurt yourself in a sense of losing views. You know, that's the thing where you have to be careful. Normally, when it's a channel that hasn't been monetized yet, I don't recommend unlisting anything until you're well past monetization and watch hour goals, like well past it to where they're self-sustaining and you can just, you know, remove them later. That's my personal opinion on it. If you're already well into monetization, yeah, go for it. You can enlist videos, but doing it beforehand can be detrimental.
So yeah, when they said they want to reach a certain monetization goal, and I see that they're under 1,000 subscribers, I'm now understanding that what you're trying to do is almost manipulate the metrics in a kind of way. like you are deliberately uploading videos that you feel like are going to get views. They bring in the watch hours you want, maybe some subscribers, and then you unlist them. This is me assuming based on the comment. And I'm really, that's concerning to me. And mostly because if you have a video, a type of video that you can upload that is getting a lot of views, why are we unlisting it?
Yeah.
Like, okay, what about a channel about that thing then?
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's the only reason that I would say unlisted is if that video is pulling a lot of views from the wrong viewers, from your wrong target audience, right?
Yeah.
That's the only time. If it meets that criteria, then sure. Otherwise, if it's still within your channel scope, there's no sense in unlisting it. So that's the key. Like, let's say if they, for whatever reason, they uploaded a Minecraft video for whatever reason. Nothing wrong with Minecraft videos, but on this type of channel, it would make no sense. But it's still bringing in thousands of views a day, thousands of subs a day. Then at that point, I'd be like, hey, listen, I'd be either one, turning this into a Minecraft channel because that's already bringing you a lot of views, or two, unlisting that video and doing Minecraft channel on a separate channel. So, but that's the thing. And I think I think they put in the chat that they're trying to hold off on unlisting anything until past the 1,000 subscribers or whatnot. If anything, I wouldn't focus so much on past 1,000 subscribers. You should be focusing on the watch hours. So make sure you're well past 4,000 hours. The subs, cool, whatever, but the watch hours are really what's important.
Yeah. I guess because I'm looking at some of these other videos, maybe it's the pets one that they're thinking, oh, I probably wouldn't want to keep these. I don't know. I guess it's a mindset thing for me. That's why I'm really hung up on it. I feel like the mindset of I'm going to get monetized, and then that's when my like channel really starts. That's when I'm really going to start like doing things differently. That's how I'm interpreting this, and I'm wondering if you're kind of holding yourself back. You know, maybe it's time to, whatever it is you're planning for after 1,000 subscribers, maybe it's time to just do it now. I'm talking about the type of content you're making, not, unlist your videos now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what is your dream for your channel? Like, what do you want to achieve? What do you want your channel to become? Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to get 1,000 subscribers based on whatever type of content gets you 1,000 subscribers. You are going to then unlist a bunch of videos that helped you get to 1,000 subscribers that people are going to enjoy and subscribe for. And then you're going to upload whatever it is you were already planning on uploading all along. And what's going to happen is that you might keep 1,000 subscribers. YouTube might say you have 1,000 subscribers, but you will not have 1,000 subscribers worth of views, whatever that number is, because people aren't going to watch it. They subscribed for a very specific thing. And you're going to, it sounds like based on the comment you left us, you're going to pull the rug out from under them and say, well, now I'm about this thing. And I've seen channels try that. It never works.
Nope.
I'm not saying people are going to unclick this button. That's not what they're going to do. They're just going to stop watching the content, and they're going to let you sit in this subscriptions list forever. And they're never going to check it because they're not interested in that. They are interested in what they subscribe for. So it's very, very important when you're trying to build an audience. And when we're talking about getting 1,000 subscribers, we're talking about building an audience of people who like what you're doing on YouTube. And you have to keep them in mind if you want to continue to succeed. You're basically going to force yourself to start all over again if you go this route that I'm imagining, where you like take a bunch of videos off your channel. I'm really, really, really sorry if I've misunderstood this comment here about having off-topic videos and unlisting them. But those are my words of caution, if that is what it is.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Let's just down this road a second. I'm concerned that a couple of early pet videos that were posted for family are confusing people in Japan. That makes more sense to me. If these videos were bringing in a ton of views for you today, I would also be concerned if you're going to not bring these videos back into the fold. If you're not going to make any more videos about these pets, and you're wanting to do this type of content now, then I would be concerned. But since these videos seem to be, because it's 6 months ago and they have 100 to 200 views, it feels like you can leave these alone or unlist them. You can do it now if you want. This is your choice.
Yeah, the weight loss ones and the cat ones, we're literally talking about less than 500 views combined. You can remove those now if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't want them gone completely, here's what I did. All those videos that I don't want on my channel that I've unlisted, I actually put them in a playlist. And I have that playlist on my homepage. So that's something you can always do, because if you still want people to be able to see some of that stuff, like maybe it's your hardcore subs, like let's say you're like at 50,000 subscribers and you want to give them some nostalgia, you can always say, hey, check out my earliest videos. They're in this playlist or whatever. But that's the only place they exist. They're out of search. You can't find them. Otherwise, they're not on your homepage. But you can put them in a playlist if you want. But yeah, we're less than 500 views. You can go ahead and unlist those.
Yeah. I'm sorry for misunderstanding your question there. That makes a lot more sense. I just didn't want you to go down this road of like, I'm going to do all this incredible content exploring the areas where I live and then unlist it all. I got a little nervous there, but yes.
Yeah. No, we're good. We're good.
These videos right here could go in a playlist, and your family and friends can still find them. You just let them know where they are. And if people want to see them, they can click over here and go find them, but they can be unlisted still and not show up, as Jeff said.
Yep. Yep. All right, man.
Cool.
We do have some super chats, so if we want to jump into that.
Yes, let's talk. We're gonna start randomly selecting your channels here in just a minute, but we have a ton of super chats. One of them is from Dan, who says, "Love you, lads. Heart. Hope someday I can get a review." Thank you so much. Best of luck to you. My goal is to be the first channel to reach 420 million on YouTube. Good luck. Do you think that's possible? Funny number, 420 million subs. I truly don't. No one's done it.
Yeah, no one's done it. Doesn't mean that there can't be a first person to do it.
Yeah.
But anything is possible. Let's put it that way. Anything is possible. So, but I've moved past personally from sub goals. Like, it's cool to have sub goals and milestones for certain things. But trust me, when you get a few years under your belt doing YouTube, you start realizing that that doesn't matter as much as other things do. So just something to keep in mind. You will have that shift eventually. Almost every, well, I would say mid-level YouTuber that's already gotten past like, 10, 25, 50,000 subscribers at this point in their journey, they're not really worried about subscriber goals as much as they're worried about hitting other things that they are trying to achieve with their channel.
Yeah. I would tell anyone that your first goals on YouTube too shouldn't feel so unreachable. Like if we were talking about 100 million subscribers, I would say that's unreachable, even though other people have hit it before. But we're talking about a number that no one's hit before. So not only is that goal like unreachable, like on the surface, just for a new channel trying to figure things out, but it's unreachable in the sense that it hasn't been done yet. Could be done, hasn't been done yet. That's a pretty lofty goal. Is that going to stop you in some way? Is it going to distract you or slow you down? Like, as you continue to make content, years go by, you get your first 1,000 subscribers, 10,000, 100,000, million. Like, when you hit 1 million subscribers, are you going to feel like, can I do this 419 more times? And it would, obviously the speed of that would be a lot different because, there's kind of a snowball effect to all this, but that's still a huge number. So it's funny. And I think it's funny as a hook to your channel, like, help me be the first person to hit 420 million subscribers. I think you should approach it be as silly with that goal as it sounds to us. It's a silly thing you're doing. I wouldn't take this goal so seriously, only because I know that not reaching a goal that you set for yourself can be demotivating to some people, right?
Yeah. Definitely be funny. But be funny about it. Like, listen, guys, I'm 399.999 million subs away from my goal. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button.
Yes. And just a word of warning, don't put that at the beginning of your video. Like,
sorry about that.
We're joking around and we think that's great. Just don't put those subscribe call to actions at the beginning of your video. Just as a total side note. People
don't do it.
Don't do it. It's just a good way to get people to bounce. We'll talk about that a little bit later. If we find someone doing it, we'll talk about why we feel like that's not great. But I do like that as a concept for a channel. Like the whole thing they're chasing is just, it's funny. It's a bit. Does uploading when audience is most active matter?
It's funny. YouTube actually gives you an answer to that in the YouTube analytics page. But here's the thing. I would say, can it help to upload when your audience is active? I think it can help with that initial view velocity of getting a video to kind of get moving. But considering the lifetime of a video, most of your views are going to come on replay at a completely random time.
Yep.
So does it really matter in the bigger scheme of things? I don't think so. So, and then, like I said, YouTube actually tells you because it's literally right there on the screen. Publish time is not known to directly affect the long-term performance of a video. So just something to keep in mind. So should you upload at a specific time of day? Personally, I prefer to do it when I know my audience is awake, right?
Yep.
So most of my views come from the United States. So I normally will publish a video, usually it's 6 a.m. my time because I'm on the West Coast, but that's about 9 a.m. New York time. So most people are just getting their coffee, getting their breakfast, just getting into the office, things like that. That's when I want my videos to go live when people are actually awake to watch it. Because I've seen videos kind of tank initially when I've dropped a video like 9 p.m. at night. I had a requirement on a contractual agreement that the video had to go live at like 9 p.m. at night. And I warned them and I said, hey, listen, how about I just push this back a few hours and have it go live at 6 o'clock in the morning, the following morning, and it'll perform much better. And they were like, no, it has to be at this time. I'm like, all right, your funeral. So that's what I did. But in the grand scheme of things, the videos will still perform well. It'll just have a slow start.
Yeah, it really is about that speed at the beginning. So like if you publish at 9 p.m. at night and your viewers watch at 6 a.m. in the morning, it's just you're gonna get that warning from YouTube. You're gonna get lower views than usual. YouTube's gonna ding you immediately, and it's gonna say, "Hey, I've seen this happen too." It literally tells you, "Hey, you uploaded at a time where your viewers are not really around." That doesn't mean this video still can't do well. That's how you can interpret it, but doesn't mean the video can't still do well. But that's why you're seeing the numbers you're seeing right now. It's just kind of honest with you.
It's cool that YouTube actually will tell you that now. They used to not do that.
Yeah.
But now they very specifically will tell you. Because, and I saw it, I think it was in the app where I saw that message pop up and I was like, oh, well, I already knew that. So I was able to screenshot it and send it to the sponsor. And I was like, you see?
You should listen to me.
Maybe you should listen to the guy that's making the videos.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, like a good video is a good video, and people get up in the morning and that video could be recommended to them. And all we're saying is it's a slower start. It does not mean that YouTube's like, you shouldn't have done that, man. And they're going to take away any real estate that was going to give you across YouTube. That's just not how it works. Cool.
Good story. Yeah, good question.
How do you calculate the YouTube partnership program time for shorts? I remove the percentage from shorts feed, but still the hours don't match. I should have 220, but I have 102. I think I know what you're referring to. So YouTube doesn't count the hours you get from shorts towards your monetization goal of 4,000 hours. In my experience, having monetized a few channels, I've seen it where the number doesn't match your own calculations. And in my experience, that's because that number that YouTube generates is always like a couple of days behind. It always seems for some reason they're like 2 days behind at least. So that might be what you're seeing. But then again, if you're saying no, that's something else, then I might be misunderstanding the question. Do you have any insight there, Jeff, or do you think?
No, you got it covered, dude.
All right. Should you keep making videos if you feel about just for your audience? Wait. About what?
Hold on. This is a sentence structure problem here.
Yeah.
You wrote a question here, but you didn't. Sometimes we got to slow down when we're trying to type it too fast. Let's try to read this again.
Okay.
Should you keep making videos you feel about? I think that's one question. And then just for your audience at the beginning, even if you feel, if you don't really want to make just that type of videos. Okay. So I think I get what they're coming from. If you don't feel good about making them, don't do it.
Right.
And here's the thing also, and I'm not sure what they mean by just for your audience. Like if they're making videos just for their subs, don't do that either. Remember that you are in charge. You are the one that's in charge. You're the one who sets the pace and the direction for your channel. And you're the one who chooses what audience you want to target. So if you're not feeling good about the videos you're making, don't do them. Mm-hmm. Make the videos that you want to make, that you feel good about, and that are targeting the audience that you want. So take that control back.
Yeah. The last thing, this is why, like, we get a question sometimes, and I think it's from channels who are just kind of trying to figure out what they even want to do. We get a question, what's the best game to play on YouTube, right? Like that from a lot of gaming channels, we get that. And I always have to slow down and say, okay, well, wait a minute. What's your favorite game? My list for this, and you don't have to apply this to just games, obviously, but my list for this is just in the context of gaming. What's your favorite game? Okay, got it. Good. The next step is, does that game have an audience on YouTube? Okay, great. Or no, actually, sorry. The next step is, can you think of 100 video ideas you think, in a relatively quick amount of time? Like, could you sit down for a day and come up with like 100 video ideas? Meaning, are you really passionate about this game as a topic for a channel? So if you can answer those two questions, yes. Then the third question is there an audience for it on YouTube? Or are you just playing a game that's 20 years old that no one's searching for? Because that can certainly happen too. If the answer is yes to all three of those questions, that's your game. I can't sit here and tell you what game to play. And the same goes for the topic you cover on YouTube. It's the same process. What's the thing in your life that you're most passionate about that you think would make for a good YouTube channel? Can you make 100 video ideas on that thing in a snap? Can you sit down and just keep listing them because you just can't stop thinking about different ideas? And then, if so, is there an audience for the type of channel that you're imagining after you do that exercise? And that just goes to doing the research, And then if the answer is no to that last question, that's when you start to look at adjacent topics. Like, okay, I'm a channel that I want to make a channel that's really into this one thing, but it turns out I'd be the only one in my niche. And that's not great because that means no one's looking for this stuff. I'm probably going to make something that no one will ever find. It's going to get buried. But what's the next closest thing? And maybe there's a compromise there. And sometimes as a creator, that's what you do. You make compromises. In fact, a lot of what we do is make compromises. So that's not what you asked, but that would be the thought process for setting up your channel in the first place. What is the best way of presenting a video that is part of a playlist? What's the best way? Are you meaning trying to get people to watch the playlist? Like, so I'm going to do this series. What's the best way to get people to watch the entire playlist? Do you think that's what they're asking?
I mean, I think so. I'm not sure what they mean by presenting a video that's part of it. I just don't understand what that really means to them.
Oh, end screen? Maybe it's the end screen?
Maybe. I mean, if that's the end screen, I don't even say that it's a playlist. I'll just say, hey, if you're interested in, you don't have to say more videos because that's going to require an investment of time. Just if it's topically related to the video you're talking about, I just say, hey, check out the video that I'm going to leave for you right up here. They click that, it's a playlist. Just make sure the first video in that playlist is going to be the one that's relevant to them more than anything else. But yeah, that'd be the way that I would do it. Do it in your end screens. You can always put a link to that playlist in the as a pinned comment if that's what you want to do as well. But don't overthink it. Just treat it like a video.
This comment came in about 40 minutes ago. Just keep in mind when you're asking your question, we need sometimes a little more context. We might have been talking about this when the question was asked, but since we kind of break this stream up in this way, we just don't remember what part of the stream this was in reference to. So when you're asking your questions, be sure you type them out carefully and give us the context we need so we can answer it the best we can. Hopefully we're understanding this question. Let's do one more and then we're going to get into random selections and maybe we'll come back to these in a little bit. Vineyard Chick says, chapters on live is an awesome tip. Here's one for you. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Chapters on live streams, man. That's a game changer for a lot of people. A lot of replay value there.
Absolutely. All right. So we need to bring another guest onto the live stream, and their name is... It's not your channel. It's the Claw. That's the name of the guest. The Claw. Sir the Claw.
Yeah, Sir the Claw.
The third.
Santa Claus?
Santa Claus, yes.
That's a good one from Death Wish. Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Now we need like a fun little...
I like it.
Yeah, we need a fun little jingle for that now. All right, so Santa Claus here to see if your channels have been naughty or nice. It's not going to discriminate either way. We're just curious. And we have almost 500 responses on the non-gaming form. We have almost 400. Oh, look at that. The non-gaming form pulled ahead. You gaming channels must feel pretty satisfied with the excellent advice we're giving, and you've stopped submitting altogether. That's great to see. Love to see it. I do like when these numbers are closer together, but you know what? We'll go ahead. We'll just keep adjusting the claw as needed. So I'm going to do we'll start with a non-gaming channel today for the claw. Or a gaming channel, I meant. That's why I'm lowering the number to 400. I misspoke. Sorry, non-gaming channels. We're going to do 400 because I'm going to do a gaming channel. And it's number 111. It's easy. DarkMobianX. They do Let's Plays, simple tips. And as I get their link here, their question is, so I don't have a question, but something I noticed as a creator, if you pivot and focus on one thing, it works wonders for your channel. Thank you, DarkMobianX. That's what we say all the time, and no one,
Thank you.
not no one, a bunch of people try and fight with us about it. Well, you know what? We didn't prompt that. We didn't ask
But
them to say
Dan,
that.
I want cat videos and baking on the same channel, Dan. Why can't I do that?
You can. Okay, there's one channel that can do that.
If you're baking cat cakes?
Called That Little Puff, and it's a cat that cooks. This channel's allowed to do baking and cat stuff, okay? But you are not.
Son of a biscuit. I can't believe it.
All right. So they didn't have a question for us, so we're just going to check out their latest video here. It looks like they're playing around quite a bit with titles and thumbnails. Maybe we could talk about these a little bit. I do have some thoughts on their titles and thumbnails, but let's just see what the videos are like.
I got the key. Band-aid, band-aid. I need a band-aid. That's not gonna be good. Warning. This game contains flashing lights, loud noises, and jump scares. This game is not for the faint of heart. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Roblox Doors. Today we are trying to make it to door 100. But you know shenanigans can happen. Let's get right on moving. Ooh, some money, anything here?
That was our first 30 seconds. Could you hear it okay?
Yeah, I can hear it just fine.
What did you think?
Not bad. It felt a little on the slow side editing wise, so it didn't like really pull me in as far as that goes. So maybe a little more concentration on the hooks on that first 30 seconds is going to be key for really improving this channel. Like, how can I? The rest of it can be at this pace. The rest of the video it will be completely fine at this pace, but that's one of the things that I would really want them to focus on is to really start paying much more attention to the first 30 seconds. Like for me, when it comes to like my own script, when I do a script for a video, I pay far more time. I would say 2 to 3 times. I spend 2 to 3 times the amount of time on just the first 30 seconds than I do on the rest of the script.
We got a super chat a sec ago. We're not in super chat mode right now, but someone did ask something that we're going to address right now. So I'm going to pull it up. I'm having retention issues with my viewers. So that's what this live stream is all about for Pyro Plays Games. Thank you for your super chat. We're going to give this creator some advice that we feel will help their retention. And, you know, just making sure anyone who feels this way is getting ready with their pen and paper. Jeff, I don't disagree with anything you just said. And yeah, my thing that I noticed was I'm always trying to look at the packaging, right? Like the title, the thumbnail, the video I clicked on, is it delivered in that first 30 seconds, like that click? And here's the problem I'm having. It is not, which is it's just going to be a big problem for retention. A lot of people may have clicked off in that first 30 seconds because you promised one thing and you delivered something else. I'm trusting that the glitched door experience will come up in this video, but it was not reaffirmed in that first 30 seconds. And that's a big problem for me as a new viewer who's never seen you before.
Yeah, it should have been started off like, hey, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys these glitched Roblox doors. So come along with me for this ride and let's kind of jump into it. You know, something to really to tell me and reinforce the click, right? Something to let me know that I'm in the right place. Even if you don't show it, you don't have to show it because then they might see it and dip. But just kind of give me a reason for that, right? So, and then also one thing I would also notice is that this is probably their normal speaking voice, normal cadence. I would probably give it a little more energy in that intro. You can definitely chill out as it goes on, but definitely you want to bring that energy in those first 30 seconds.
Yeah, there's definitely an energy, a lack of energy. And here's the thing. I don't want anyone to think when we give that advice, we want you to be like some fake version of yourself. But there is something to cranking yourself up just a little bit. I feel like I'm me in all the content I make, but I do talk louder and I do express myself more with my hands. And that's still true to me. It's just my video persona. It's like video version of Dan, you know, but in real life, I don't talk like this and I don't wave my hands around like this.
Really? You don't? When I have people over, I literally do the same thing. Like, hey man, welcome to my house. So now that you just walked through the front door, I'm going to offer you something to drink.
Can you please make this video? That is such a good idea for a video, like as like a YouTube growth person. Like, oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Hey, so I see you're delivering my mail, but do I have any packages on their way? No? Okay, I'll wait for the UPS guy. Thank you.
Yes. Be yourself, but turn it up. You know,
Yeah.
think of your dream, right? Your dream is to do this for a living, perhaps. You want to be a YouTuber who's making money doing this. You want to sit at your own desk in your own air conditioning, and you want to make videos in your own space. And that's exciting. The idea behind that's exciting. And I think that's the energy I want to see from you. Like, I'm so excited to be here, you know. Um, so it's just it comes with practice. It comes with making more videos and just something to be aware of. Maybe no one's told you that before, and you know, it's something you can work on if that's something you want to work on.
Yeah, practice and time really is one of the things why you'll see people like Roberto Blake talk about getting out there and making 100 videos. When I first started, I didn't sound the way that I sound now. And when I first started, I also didn't sound the way that I sounded at 100 videos or at 200 videos. So that takes time to develop, obviously, but it gets better. And I did practice to speed things along. So that was the thing where I did that, like, you know, working on charisma, working on your speech patterns, practicing your scripts a lot, practicing the things that you talk about a lot. That can definitely help you develop that voice over time.
Yeah. The last thing I just want to point out was what you chose to use as a hook. I see what you did in the beginning where you showed a scene from somewhere in the middle of the video. We recommend that. That's like just a thing a lot of gaming creators do. Totally cool. But again, this is your opportunity to have that glitched doors thing pay off. Like Jeff said, if you're worried that if you show the thing, people might leave early, it just kind of depends on how you show it, in my opinion. If it's implied that this is going to keep happening, then people probably want to see all the instances of it throughout the video, right? But if it's just one thing that happened one time, then yeah, maybe you don't want to show it, but you want to tease it some other way. And maybe you turn a corner and the screen goes black and you're like, what is happening here? And then it comes back to your actual intro where you're like, today we're playing this game, blah, 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 blah. So there's ways you can do it that make it really interesting. And again, reaffirm the click. I clicked on a video about glitch doors. I didn't see any glitch doors. I didn't hear a reference to glitch doors in any part of that 30-second intro we saw. So that's going to be the key here to getting you past that point where people are perhaps clicking on your video and then clicking away sooner than you would like them to. Speaking of the packaging of the video, the title, the thumbnail, I do like the title. I think titles like this can work very well. They got to be paired with a good thumbnail. Having your character here, I know what a Roblox character looks like. This feels squashed to me. I don't know why they're in that orientation. Like, it just looks like you took a photo of a Roblox character and literally like you stretched it so that was wider than it normally is. You have all this negative space here at the top. So they could have been their normal height and filled up this frame really nice, but you have all this negative space at the top, and then the text you chose to use, no, not now, which is, it's just too vague and it doesn't really tell me anything. You know, there's not a lot here. Like, that text doesn't really match what I'm seeing either. Your character doesn't look like it's screaming, no, not now. Your character's just kind of staring into the lens with a deadpan stare. So I think there's a disconnect here in what you're choosing to put in your thumbnails versus what the videos are actually about. And again, this is all about the packaging of your video. You said glitch doors. There's no picture of a door. It's something that doesn't seem to have anything to do with the title of the video. And even the thumbnail itself, I called a question what it's trying to tell me. So I'm picking on it. And this is for anyone who hears me say stuff like that and go, wow, that was pretty ruthless. I'm picking on it because the average viewer won't. The average viewer who you're trying to get to watch your channel isn't going to take the time that I just took to tell you why they didn't click on the video. They're just not going to click. They're going to keep scrolling because nothing about it stopped them from scrolling. So those are, I think, all of our like general critiques that we can offer you here.
Yep, for sure.
All right, we will pick a non-gaming channel now. The non-gaming forum, getting close to 500 there. We'll do 475. And we will choose 249. They do shorts, so be sure to go to your shorts. And they said they need advice for viral. Thank you. All right, we'll try to help. I'm guessing they need advice to try and go viral. What do you think? Should we look at one that's already pretty much done well in the past? There's one here with 1.5K views.
Sure.
Coca-Cola, Sri Lanka. I missed the text up there. Okay. So it's not that the editing on this short was bad or anything. In fact, I quite liked when you cut while you were pouring the soda, you cut partway through and like skipped a bunch of the pour. And so like it was like that jump cut of just showing, yeah, you know, I'm pouring soda. You don't need to see the whole thing. Now the soda's full. I just thought something was going to happen. And it didn't.
Yeah. It left me kind of dissatisfied when I watched it. I'm like, cool.
Yes.
So that's my thing with it.
I think the appeal of this video is what you're applying here, and just forgive me if I'm just missing the point. Coca-Cola in Sri Lanka is, am I saying that right, Jeff? Is different than Coca-Cola in other places.
Yeah.
Maybe because the size versus the price, I guess. That's what the text at the top is telling me. But I don't know why else this video is like, if I were to be served this on the short shelf, what I'm expecting is a struggle with the bottle opening, or I'm expecting soda to go everywhere. I'm expecting something. There's some expectation being built up, which is why I think people stopped on the short initially and why it has 1.5K views, because it looks like something intense is about to happen. And then you pour a soda and you put it down and then the video starts over. So disappointed is definitely a word. I do feel a little bit just underwhelmed. And I think the reason this short has 1.5K views is because a lot of the viewers felt the same way. You posted on December 4th, which means it's 10 days old now. So YouTube, when a video like this in shorts hits 1.5K views and then 10 days go by and nothing else happens, I'm guessing what you did is you got that short spike, YouTube tested on a bunch of people, and enough of them watched it through, but because they didn't rewatch it, because they didn't hit the like button, because they didn't share it, because I would want to see more likes than 35 on a video with over 1,000 views. Because those signals weren't there, YouTube stopped sharing it very quickly.
Yeah. And that's actually the most asked question that we still see is why do my shorts get a couple thousand views and then that's it and you just stop? That's literally the way that YouTube now works. The way that shorts algorithm works now, it's not the same as it was 6 months ago. It's just not. It just simply isn't. So the testing happens a lot faster. And if your short isn't meeting those criteria, then it's getting dropped. And not to say that it can't at some point pick up later. Sure, of course it can. But you also have to think that the barrier to entry to making shorts is very low. So the inventory of shorts is astronomical. So your shorts have to really be better. That's really what it comes down to. Yep. You got to see well over 100% on that audience retention. Like it has to be watched multiple times.
Yep.
So looping can help with that for sure. But that's really what's happening. Because that's one of the things where I see a lot of people ask. They ask in the chat. They ask in the comments. We get a lot of DMs in the different groups and stuff. Is why do my shorts stop getting views? That's why. Because YouTube is testing them a lot faster. And when they're not hitting that criteria, they're getting dropped. And you got to move on to the next. You got to look at what worked and what didn't and improve what you can.
This is one of our recent shorts that's actually doing pretty well. And when we say we want over 100% retention, we're talking about there's a good chunk of people here that are rewatching the short. And that's our goal with these. We want you to watch it twice, ideally. And we get halfway through the video before we finally dip under 100%. So this is a strong signal to YouTube. Just that alone is a strong signal that this is a short worth sharing. And that's what's happening right now. It's finally found a home in shorts, and it's getting to more and more people all the time. And if you want to go viral, that's just the key right there. You have to be able to answer that question. Why are you making this video? Who is it for? Why do I need to know this? And I think what would have helped here is that while you were pouring the Coke, and this is what felt like it was missing, honestly, what if you were talking underneath it and you said, did you know that in Sri Lanka, Coca-Cola costs this much? Or did you know that Coca-Cola tastes different? You know, you what if you just started spitting facts about Coca-Cola, a drink everyone's heard of? The footage at that point could be anything. With this bottle in it, like I think as long as there's some Coca-Cola in it, now the content is what they're hearing, and you caption the video in case their sound is off, and now you're giving some really interesting facts to people who are in other countries who didn't know these things that you're trying to explain. But I feel like you didn't give enough context here. If you were trying to explain something, maybe it is actually really interesting, but we're missing it. The context just isn't there to us.
Yeah. A little bit of that would have made it much more engaging short. So I know the ones that I watch where they don't do that. And this leads back to the barrier of entry. You have to take it a step further than the other million people that are going to do the bare minimum.
Yep.
You have to take it up a notch. If you think, oh yeah, this is how I'm going to do it, but there's so many other people that are doing it because it's easy to do. You got to take it a step further. You got to make it one step harder to take it to the next level.
Yeah. So those are our tips for you. If you want to go viral, you got to answer that question. Who is this short for? What are we going to get out of it? People who are watching content like this, they're looking for something specific. They're looking for a specific dopamine hit of some kind. It's got to be funny. It's got to be interesting. It's got to be something. And right now, I'm just not sure. It just kind of looks like you're opening packages of food and stating exactly what the package of food is. So I don't know what we're getting. Also, as a sidebar, these subscribe buttons that you're putting on your shorts, like the little call to action to get people to subscribe, is distracting. I think that is the wrong move. What YouTube does is actually a really cool thing. Whether you're watching on desktop or mobile, they put a big subscribe button on the shorts for you, really close to where you in fact put your own. I'll pause it when it comes up. You put your own subscribe call to action right above that button. This is much less distracting. Earn your subscribers by just making a good short. People will see the button. They will hit this if they want to. I would say if you're asking for subscribers in shorts, you're doing it all wrong. It's just not the place to do it. If people enjoy your shorts, YouTube will show them more of your shorts, and before you know it, they will subscribe all on their own.
Yep.
So I would get rid of that because now you're taking my eyes, which should be in the center of the screen, down. I'm looking. What's that thing? And when I see it's a subscribe button, I almost just kind of sigh a little bit. Like, oh, well, I'm not really interested in that. Anyway, did I miss anything? I don't know. It's just a bottle of Coca-Cola. Move on. I scroll to the next one.
Yep.
So, hope that helps. I know we were a bit. There wasn't a lot of nice things to say there, Jeff, and I always feel bad. You know what I will say? Their camera quality is actually really stellar.
Yeah, doing outdoors gives you excellent light. So it's a smart play as far as that goes for sure.
Yeah. Actually, your lighting, everything here looks really, really, really nice. And that could be another reason for people stopping on your shorts when they do see them. Cool. Thank you for submitting your channels. We have a few more super chats. Let's get to these because they are stacking up. Thank you so much for your support and all the free content that we make here on the channel. We will get back to auditing your reviewing your videos here in just a moment. Aprons and Overalls, great name, asks, do channel trailers hurt the video's retention if watch time is low from people pausing it and immediately changing or immediately on the channel page? That's a fair question, actually. What do you think about that?
Hold on. Channel trailers hurt a video's retention if the watch time is... I don't understand how a channel trailer... What?
Skipping over the watch time part of that question, I think what they're asking here is something I've actually wondered myself. If I go to a channel and a trailer starts auto-playing, and I'm just wanting to look at the channel. I don't want to see this trailer. Maybe I just watched a video from them and I don't need the introduction. I pause it immediately. And then I'll scroll to their videos and I'll look at their socials and I'll do all the research I do while I'm on their channel page, right? So I pause the trailers here, I pause it, and now I'm like, okay, what do we got going on? What kind of stuff do you do? They're asking if that pause and they never return, are they hurting their watch time or their retention?
I've never seen it have a difference. Like I have a video right now that's doing super, super well. It's actually a stream on replay that I put into the channel trailer area. I don't have a channel trailer per se. I just put what video I want to showcase there. The video's doing excellent. So, and I've never seen it have any sort of a negative impact personally. So I really would not worry about that at all. This is for aprons and overalls. I would not worry about that one bit. And here's the thing: if you have an actual channel trailer, like where you're introducing people to your channel, to what you're doing, upload that as an unlisted video and put that into the channel trailer section. Yes. You don't have to worry about that video's performance. It's just introducing your channel. So it just depends on what kind of video it is.
My advice here would be do exactly what Jeff's doing. Put one of your best videos as the channel trailer. It's putting your best foot forward. No one wants to watch you sitting from the camera and saying what your channel's about. Just show them. Just show them what it's about. The channel trailer space, like I always save whatever my top performing video is. I always save that for the channel trailer, and it's going to get views either way. Like if my retention is getting hurt from the trailer viewers pausing it, it has not slowed down that top performing video. It's still doing just as well as it ever did, and that's why I put it in that spot. I don't care if people pause on it. It's the fact that, hey, right now, this is me. This is the best thing I've done lately, and this is what you should watch if you're looking to watch something.
Yep, that works. Yep.
My channel is 10 plus lives or lit. I'm not sure what that word is. Trying for a review. Just keep in mind, we are not doing reviews based on super chats, but we do appreciate your super chats. Be sure you submit on the appropriate form, and it could get picked at random.
Yeah, I suppose that they weren't asking for a review, but I just don't understand what they mean by my channel is dying. So I'm not sure what they mean.
You think maybe there's a question there I'm not understanding?
It's possible it could have been a language barrier thing, because I'm just not getting it, to be completely honest. So I'm just not getting it.
Yeah, I do hope we get to see your channel. I know, like, some people are worried. Sometimes it looks like their channel's dying, and to me, as someone who, like, in many of my experiments, I have a couple channels that I could look at and call dying. But I know enough to know exactly why that is. It's because they're about topics that just aren't popular, but they used to be. The channels started out really strong because I picked a really strong topic that slowly over time fell out of favor. So for me, the answer is very clear, but sometimes it's not that clear for some folks. But I would take a step back and look at the other channels in your space. If you feel like your channel's dying, are their channels looking kind of meh on views lately? Do you feel like it's a thing across your community, or it's something else at play? So that's how I would approach that research.
Yep, 100%.
When's it a good time or milestone to introduce memberships?
There's really no right time for that. You do it whenever you feel ready to do it. You can do it from the beginning. You know what I mean? Just don't expect a huge bump, like a ton of people to come in. If you've only got, 10 subscribers, don't expect all 10 to sign up for memberships. Mm-hmm. You can always introduce it whenever you want. There's no right or wrong time. So just the thing is this, don't just do it and not do it. And also, if you're going to do it, first think up all the different tiers that you're going to offer, and make sure that you have a sustainable game plan for the stuff that you're going to provide. If you're going to have people paying you on a monthly basis, make sure that you can actually fulfill what you're offering. And if you can't do that, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Because, it's nice to be able to get that kind of money, the additional revenue. You got to be willing to put in the work.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this, it's sales. Selling memberships on your channel is sales. And so if you're able to get people to be members based on the perks that you offer, you might be leaving money on the table. If you have, let's say you have like 10 ideas for some amazing perks and they're all scalable. They won't take you a ton of time. Once they're implemented, they won't take you a ton of time to maintain, right? If you have those ideas right now, do it right now. You might be leaving a bag of money on the table. If you feel like these incentives are actually worth people's money and you feel like, oh, I want to offer them, but like, I don't know a good point to do it. It's that point is when you feel like the best about the tiers that you want to, the stuff you want to put in each tier for each member. It's good to have a community, obviously. And if you feel like you have a community, you're noticing regulars come back more and more, and you're noticing like it's even better if you have common sayings and things that people latch on to. Like we have the claw, right? So people see the claw come up while we do our random selections. If we ever did emotes on this channel and offered memberships, we would absolutely have one that's a little claw, just for fun. Like because we want to see those spammed in the chat every time that the claw comes up. So if you have that community feel kind of going on, there's nothing wrong with like jumping into memberships. But if you're just kind of starting them because it's a button that's there and you haven't clicked it yet, maybe think twice about like what you're going to offer. Why should people be members? Like, it's just like a video. What's the value of this to them?
Thank you. Yep. Completely agree.
All right. We got one here. Let me read this one. It's Old Man Gip. Sorry to read this twice here. So thanks a million, vidIQ. You're very welcome. I guess for me and my channel, I will do videos until I'm not having fun doing it, and it's not enjoyable for me if I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good philosophy.
Yeah.
Really good philosophy.
You have to enjoy it, man. That's really what it comes down to, because then otherwise it can become work. And it just depends on what your goals are for the channel. But if the goal from the outset is to have fun, then yeah, absolutely, completely agree. I know for me, if it stopped being fun for me, or actually, sorry, when it stopped being fun for me, I had to rethink how I was making my content. And that's what led me towards streaming more than making videos and editing, because, you know, I know not everybody feels this way, but editing was killing my soul. It really, really was. And I had to make a decision, because either one, I was no longer going to be on YouTube, or two, I had to sort of restructure how I made my content for me to make this sustainable. And that's what I had to do. So now it's a ton of fun. So
and that's awesome too. I'm kind of in the same boat myself. I do a lot of work around here, and if I have a channel that I'm interested in on the side that I'm playing around with, and I've got this habit of starting them because they're free. I'll get to a point with them where I'm like, oh, I think it's time to stop. I think it's time that I either stop or I pivot into something else that's more fun, because I'm not having fun anymore. And that's I feel my relationship with YouTube now, just as a creator, is very healthy compared to what it was when I first started. I had this one channel, and it took me years to get it to where it was. It got to like close to 50,000 subscribers, and I was not having fun anymore. But I kept grinding away at it because I'm like, I can't let this go. I have this community and I have all this stuff going on, but I just hate what I'm doing. Nothing personal against what I was doing or the people who were enjoying it. I just hated it. And I got to a point one day where I woke up and said, then why am I doing it? And I stopped. And it was the best thing I ever did, because I started a new channel, because again, they're free. And I got into something I really loved, a new thing that I loved. And that channel took off because I loved it, because I was doing something I enjoyed. So that really, a lot of people, why, like, how do you grow so quickly? How are you doing? Like, do what you love. Just start there. It's so simple. Like once you like get that clear and you have that clarity, everything changes on YouTube. Like everything changes for you.
Yeah.
I stopped chasing views, and I'm like, I'm going to make something that I think is fun. I know people will watch it because I've done the research. If they don't, I'm still going to have fun making this. This is silly. I want to make it. And they did great. I'm being deliberately vague for anyone asking, by the way.
No worries, man.
I started on YouTube making long content and then moved to strictly shorts. I'd like to go back into longer content advice or tips.
Do it. Literally, don't overthink it. Do it. If you can, well, I was gonna say, if you can keep it within the same like target audience, you know what I mean? That's really going to be helpful. If I'm making shorts around cars, I'm going to have car related content. So try to keep it relevant, but do it. Here's the thing. You got to get out there and do it. You got to get out there and experiment. You got to get out there. And what did Sean say yesterday? Just hit record.
You got to just press record. I'll tell you this. We at vidIQ, we have a couple of subscribers, you know, and we've made a couple of videos, you know. Yep. It happens. We make some videos sometimes. We trip and fall, and the lights turn on, and the camera starts rolling, and we start screaming YouTube advice at the camera. And we upload it, you know, and we've been doing that for a while, but it takes a long time. And we've been seeing shorts, and we've been like, hey, how do we get in on that? Guess what? We started doing it. We just started doing it. And we've had shorts that have been garbage. We upload them, and they get no views.
Yeah.
And we just sit there and go, why? What happened? Why is this happening to us? And then what we did is we re-strategized. We changed our strategy. And we are still testing and iterating that strategy all the time. We just did it. So we're looking at videos here, 20,000, 30,000 views, 16,000 views, 13,000 views. And when you compare them to some of our big hits on the long form side, you're wondering, why would you even bother with shorts? You get so much on the long form side, but we want a nice, healthy content ecosystem. We want our live streams to do well. We want our shorts to do well. We want our videos to do well, because we want to bring in all different types of viewers. There are people who will know vidIQ in the future only through shorts. They won't know about the live streams we do. They won't even know about the tools we have in some cases, because they don't watch every single short where we talk about them, right? Like, they will just know vidIQ as those guys that give the advice about YouTube channels sometimes. And that's just because we want to get all the different types of viewers out there. So there's nothing wrong with starting, but all of that was to tell you guys, it's important to look at these 3 tabs as different channels on the same channel. So your shorts viewers get recommended your long form content sometimes. So you should always be catering to that same viewer. However, respect the process, respect the fact that some people just like shorts. Some people just like long form videos, and some people just like live streams. And you can't please everybody. But now you have 3 separate channels in one, and 3 different attempts now to do that, to get all these different types of viewers. Now everyone can be happy. But always make it about the same thing.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. Because if there is a chance that your shorts viewers will come to your long form videos and vice versa, that's how you stack the deck in your favor. Make sure they're about the same exact thing. Otherwise, you might as well start a whole other channel for that whole different topic you're doing.
Yep, I agree, man. So back to the claw?
Back to the claw. All right. Santa Claus, getting hungry for your channels. I could take that metaphor in a lot of places, but I won't. Almost 500 channels in the non-gaming forum. We're getting up there on the gaming forum now. What did we do last? We did a non-gaming channel. So 433. We'll be very specific today. And it's 143 that we're going to on the gaming forum. Oh, sorry. I didn't. Thank you. I did not know.
I got it. No worries. No
I
worries.
had no idea. Using Canary screens. And then I almost opened the tab on the browser that I wasn't even recording. Real commercial broker. Over 100 subscribers. Congrats. I am a real commercial broker.
Definitely not a fake commercial broker.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. I assume just based on this channel header here.
It could be a commercial broker, like in City Skylines or something. You never know. But this guy's operating in the actual world.
But it looks like they're playing City Skylines. It is a gaming channel. We did go to the gaming channel.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing around.
But I was fooled for a minute because I forgot until you said City Skylines. Like, wait, that is what they're doing, Jeff.
Yeah.
Like, oh right, we're supposed to be here. But it's confusing. That brings me to my first point. Your thumbnails are a bit confusing to me. And I gotta say that's gonna be maybe a big part of our critique, but you are making videos that are close to an hour in length, so a video review is totally justified.
Hey everybody, welcome back. In the last episode, our city got hit by a meteor.
Oh no.
And if you missed that, roll the clip. Just because I feel like doing it. Let's unzone that, rezone that for high development.
Astrologists report that a devastating meteor will strike the city in the near future.
Wait, what?
Residents should seek shelter immediately if any is available.
Oh, God. Right. So we had a little bit of an incident happen where we had a meteor hit us, and then we decided.
So that was 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that as a hook. When they were doing the flashback, I think we got a really good look at how they are in the middle of their video. Do you feel that too? It felt a bit chill.
Yeah.
Felt kind of quiet. It felt like a live stream. It felt like the kind of stuff I'd see in a live stream, the really chill, we're just building in city skylines kind of like vibe. It's an hour long, this video, so I'm kind of like, now I'm curious. Like, it would tell us if it was streamed. But this was just, it says 18 hours ago. This looks like it was just uploaded. And they did add chapters. They have some affiliate links here, which we love to see. But I guess if we went to the middle of this video, let's just kind of see. If we get halfway through your video, what kind of experience are we in for?
Yes, can you do a pedestrian from here? We turn off our snap angles real quickly. Are we able to run a path?
So when I watch content like this, I think a couple of things. I kind of think there's like an ASMR kind of quality to this content whereby people who watch this, it's a very, very specific audience. It's people who like this game. That they put these videos on in the background while they also play City Skylines, and they just like the company. They like to have you there with them. They like that you build in real time. They like that the content isn't heavily edited, right? And that's certainly totally fine. You can totally make videos that way. However, there is this issue where you've made now, so for 2 months you've been playing and you made all these videos, and they're all very long. And not many of them, but a few, not many of them have really taken off, right? We have one with 1,000 views here, one with 400 views, one with 600 views. Most of the time, though, we're kind of fighting that, right? Where we're just not getting the views we want to see. But I mean, now that I scroll down, there's more data here than I thought, which is good. The videos that got over 1,000 views are the ones I would be looking at, and I'd be trying to figure out, why did these videos get 1,000 views? I would look at your retention. Did people stick around longer? That would be a good sign. I would look at the name of the video, the title, the thumbnail, and how people found it. YouTube will tell you where they found this video. I'd be looking at all these things, and I would be trying to take notes on if they stuck around. Because for me, like, this is, I could see the appeal to this content now that I've watched it for a little bit, but it's definitely not for me. I want someone who's going to play City Skylines and give me some practical tips. I want to get in, get out. Or if I'm going to watch them build, I kind of want the highlights. I don't really want the whole hour. I just want the really cut down highlights. And I'm saying that from one person's perspective. But Jeff, I kind of wonder if, just because of gaming and the way it is, and the precedents that have been set by other creators, that they might be held back because maybe a lot of people feel the way that I do about this, whereby this content is cool, but it's not necessarily for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that could be kind of what's going on. There can be a little confusion, and this is where I would really lean into competitor research, big time. You know what I mean? And it could be something that they're doing, but normally I pick 3 to 5 of the top channels in my niche and look at what's working for them, both in what they're talking about and as well as how they're editing the videos, how they're starting, how they're ending, and start looking for those patterns, those repeatable patterns across multiple channels of how they're operating. So there are some awesome channels. Like, I've watched quite a few of the City Skylines channels. The videos are excellent from some of these creators. You'll see the way that they edit, the way that they get started. One of our own Mac students called the channel's called Joy Build Cities. Amazing for what they're doing with City Skylines. So definitely somebody you may want to take a look at. But yeah, so it's a little bit different, but they do awesome content. So they're doing super good.
I'm glad you mentioned this channel, because I was trying to remember the name. This is one of our vidIQ Max students. And vidIQ Max, it's linked down below. It's a group coaching program. Jeff is actually one of the coaches in there. And what you get when you're in vidIQ Max is not only basically a live course every 2 weeks on a YouTube topic. You get access to all the courses that have been done in the past on various YouTube topics from all kinds of guests and our coaches. And then you get access to these coaches constantly in a private Discord. So Joy Build Cities is a channel I've actually looked at from being in different Discord calls, and have talked to a little bit. And they've done some really interesting stuff. And what they're doing is using their interest in actual, like, cityscapes and stuff, and bringing it to City Skylines. And the reason this is relevant to the channel we're looking at is because they claim to be a real commercial broker. And if that's true, then you have real world experience, just like Joy Build Cities, that you're bringing into City Skylines. So there's a lot of parallels there. And looking at their channel might help you kind of get some new ideas as to how those two things can merge together. Because Joy does a really good job of making it clear that they're trying to make something from real life in City Skylines, which to me is a much stronger plug for, like, a much stronger, like, pitch for a video than, we made all this money under an hour. Like, real commercial broker loses his mind. Like, it's there, like, you're so close with your titles and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's like the concept still feels surface level. Like, there's something missing here for these titles and these thumbnails. So I don't know, that could be a channel to look at. But the City Skyline space is incredibly popular.
Yeah, it's a fun game to play if you're into that kind of stuff too. But definitely something to look at. That's kind of where I would be leading with this one. So yeah.
Just on that first title too, that one we clicked on, we made 1.753,000, whatever. Like, you made over $1 million under an hour using financial districts. I think this was a good pitch, but I would have shortened the title by saying, I made a fortune in less than an hour in City Skylines. and then you have the actual number you made in the thumbnail still. I think instead of the person kissing the money bags, though, you would use white text, first of all, because the orange on gray is kind of hard to read. And then you would have something that helped you make that money in the thumbnail, something recognizable to City Skylines. Because when we got to this channel, you saw I was legitimately confused. I thought we were looking at a real estate broker channel. And it's because of your thumbnails. It's because they actually look like a real estate broker's thumbnails and not City Skylines thumbnails. And I like City Skylines. I should have recognized it instantly, but it was not until I scrolled down to here where I'm like, oh, that's City Skylines. Oh, right, we're looking at a gaming channel, right? But I had extra context and I didn't know where I was.
Yeah, this is why the banner set the stage for confusion. And to me, I think that's a massive mistake on their part. Because cool, your channel's name is Real Commercial Broker. And then your banner says, I'm a real commercial. What context does that give me to the fact that you're playing City Skylines? None whatsoever. So that there is a problem with branding here that's going on. So, because it could be somebody that's looking for actual real commercial broker content that's not about City Skylines. And that could cause confusion when they go into your video and see that it's a video game and not real life, then they're leaving. So something to think about.
Yeah. So a lot here to see. I do want to see you test shorter videos, but I now looking at the whole channel, I'm realizing, that's a big ask. That would be a huge change to the way you make content. So do it if you think it feels right. But it's just one person's opinion. I think I would be starting with the easier thing to do, which would be the updated titles and thumbnails to try to bring in those viewers who might want an hour-long City Skylines video. But I do worry for the ceiling on that content. How many people are out there who want that?
Yep, I agree.
So best of luck to you, and consider live streaming, because this is perfect. Like when it comes to live streams, what you're doing is exactly what I expect to be done in a live stream. And I think your audience who you have built up, like, would love to chill out with you during a live stream. And then you could make content off of that.
Agreed.
All right, cool. We need to get back to some super chats. Let's try and rapid fire some of these.
Well, I think, we can try to do that. I was gonna say we definitely want to get back to at least one more non-gaming.
Yeah, we'll do one more non-gaming channel. Let's try and rapid fire some of these super chats. Thank you so much. If you send a super chat at this point, there's a really good chance we might miss it, just because we are getting later in the day now. I started on YouTube making long content and then moved strictly to shorts. Oh, okay, we did answer this one. Yep. This was from a question we got earlier, so they're rephrasing now. Let's say I have 10 hours in total, and 9 came from the shorts feed. I remove those hours. Should I have 1 hour count towards the YouTube partnership program? In theory. But
in theory,
I don't know how they calculate these things. Like I don't work at YouTube. There could be other things at play, and I'm not seeing your channel, so I don't know. But in theory, yes. I'll definitely work better on thumbnails and the hook. Thank you for your input, DarkMobian. Thank you, appreciate you. Thanks for the super chat. Supporting the cause of helping small creators. My last video finally broke 1,000 views, and I would love to know why it didn't go further. Thank you so much for your super chat. So I guess not seeing it, we wouldn't know.
Yeah, I took a really quick look at the video, but topic-wise, it seems to make sense. Timing-wise, it seems to make sense. It could be, the thumbnail-wise even kind of makes sense, but it could be the actual content. It could be low retention. But like I said, this is a really tough question to answer when we don't have access to your back-end analytics. So, but I would be looking at your retention. I would be looking at the click-through on that. So, because it could be that you got to 1,000 views and then just stopped because some people clicked because it was good timing for that content. But what you said in the video or the hook or whatever drove them away. So I'd be taking a hard look at what exactly happened with that retention.
Do your best to learn from it. And I would say focus anything you've learned up till now on your next video too. All the lessons you've taken, like continue implementing them for your future videos. Don't get too hung up on videos that didn't, that are in the past now and seem to have stopped. It's good to learn from them, but it's not good to dwell on them.
Thank you.
It's good to move on with the next project. That's what's going to grow your channel. I went from 5,000 views per stream to barely touching 400. That's a huge margin there. I didn't change anything. My retention is great. Why would this happen?
Could be that you didn't change anything.
You know what? I wasn't going to say that, but that's interesting. It could be that you've been doing the same thing long enough to where people seen it, done it, been there, done that. Could be that the topic you're in, without you doing anything wrong, is starting to just kind of not trend as much anymore.
Well, here's the thing about YouTube, right? Just because something worked in the past, it doesn't mean that it's always going to work in the future. So at a certain point, things have to change. And so saying I didn't change anything, that could be the problem. So it could be that you've got more competitors in your space. It could be that there's people doing better content, better thumbnails, better titles, whatever it might be. That could be what's going on. So I would take a hard look at what you're doing and a hard look at what your competitors are doing to see if you need to step your game up. If what you're doing is no longer working, then not changing anything, that's not the move. You have to change something.
What category are my videos? Currently, they're all how to and style recommended online. It's health. It's a health channel, like healthy food, daily routines, some food benefits, and health, making sure. Category doesn't matter too much. Like I wouldn't hang yourself up on it. Like we're in the education category, and we have a whole bunch of fields that we can fill out for each video to describe exactly what kind of education video it is. We ignore them. Like I just so many optimizations I have to make on a video. I do not have time to fill out this ridiculous box that just has so many options in it. As long as YouTube knows we consider ourselves an education channel, I'm happy. Our videos do well. Category is of minimal concern to me. I kind of feel like it's an outdated thing. I sometimes I wonder if one day we'll wake up and it's not there anymore.
Yeah, I would not even sweat that at all.
Yeah. I do appreciate the viewings. These viewings, thank you. Yarning, thank you so much for your super chat. We only have a couple more here. We'll get back to the channel reviews in a sec. Thanks vidIQ for the value. I created a challenge channel. What are your thoughts? You're very welcome. Thank you for the super chat. We can't be checking out your channel right now for super chats. It wouldn't be fair to others. However, maybe it'll come up in randoms and we can check it out. I think if you created a challenge and your channel's doing well, your challenge is doing well, that's great. Just my general advice on challenges, it's better to jump on one that's popular, depending on where you are in YouTube, like where you're in your journey, than it is to just try and make your own. Because, you know, depending on the size of your channel, like you want to jump on the challenges because challenges are trends, right? But sometimes challenges are simple. Like Ryan Trahan did the penny challenge. So you could say he invented a challenge, but it's very approachable. Everyone knows what it's like, you know, to have a penny, right? So it depends on what you mean. Without looking at the channel, we're not sure. But good luck. How do you improve your channel? Definitely want to continue hanging out with us. We're here trying to help. We can't look at your channel right now for super chats, but we've been given notes on all different aspects of YouTube all afternoon, and we did so yesterday as well. Yesterday was a great stream. And then we got tons of videos on the channel as well. So take a look at our channel, try and see if anything jumps out at you, that you feel like, oh, I feel like this is going to speak to the problems I'm having, and check it out. We got a super sticker. I can't, Jeff, I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was saying it also proves that nobody's reading that scrolling banner along the bottom.
You know, you tried.
Hey, man.
You tried. We'll just get rid of it. It's fine. You did try really hard. Thank you for the super sticker. And do you recommend getting rid of intro stingers? Yes. We didn't see any today, which is good. That means our influence is spreading. That's really good. Intro stingers are, hopefully we don't see them here in the last couple of things we look at today, but it's when a channel has like a big, we used to have one we used all the time. Go back like 2 years on our content, you will see it. It was like vidIQ, and it came up on the screen and it offered nothing. It just said our name a whole bunch. It didn't do anything for anyone. We got rid of it. We noticed a bump in our retention. We'd recommend getting rid of these completely. All right. And we, you know, ours was made for us. Like we invested money in that and we stopped using it.
Yes,
we got more channels. We got to see what Santa Claus has in store now for non-gaming channels, which have reached critical mass. Over 500 non-gaming channels. 381.
Oh, I thought it picked number 1. I was like, what?
Oh, Claw.
Santa Claus playing games with us now.
Look at this. We picked this channel yesterday, but for channel audits, and we're getting a little more context. Does the click pay off? The first 30 seconds is 40-50%, but it goes down quickly after. I appreciate that we've seen this channel yesterday. It's getting picked again, and they want to know specifically, does the click pay off when we click on their videos and they do long form? they feel people are dropping off really quickly. That's exactly why we're here today. So let's check this out.
16 gram difference. There has to be something good in this heavy one. Welcome to Thrill of the Chase, helping you build your collection one video at a time for the best price possible. We got these tins in 2019. One of them weighs 262 grams. One of them weighs 246 grams. Will 16 grams make a difference? Put your guesses down below. Let's get into it. Editor, open them up. Here's the beautiful Vaporeon GX card that comes in each.
So that's 30 seconds. I definitely have some thoughts here. I'm seeing some stuff I like. I really like. I'm seeing some stuff I don't like. I'll let you go first, though.
I would experiment with, because they were saying, well, no, actually, hold on. They weren't getting a huge drop off right in the beginning, is what they're saying, correct? In the forum?
Does the click pay off? First 30 seconds is 40 to 50%, but then it goes down quickly after that.
The experimentation that I would do with the intro would be not showing your face. And I'm not saying this like to be mean or rude or anything like that. It's just something that I tried myself to see if I could bump that number up, and it worked for me. Not saying it'll work for you. It's something you can try, where it's only your voice and you're showing the cards, the tins, whatever it is, you weighing them, whatever. But just those first 30 seconds, not showing your face, just showing the product, just confirming that click without you being on the screen. Even though you're holding them up and stuff, this is something that I would experiment with to see if it works and if it doesn't. Entirely up to you. For me, it made a big difference. For some other channels, it doesn't. It just depends. But that would be one way that I would try something a little bit different.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I would say you asked if the click pays off. And to know that, I have to look at the title and the thumbnail. And I think we looked at this video yesterday. In fact, we talked about the grams and stuff, and we were wondering what they meant. And I suggested that you could be doing more with the title and thumbnail to imply that something is amiss, like, you know. But now that I'm seeing the video, I have a little more context. But the problem is, as a layman, I didn't have any context going into this. However, for people who do like this stuff already, and they know exactly what you're talking about, they know exactly why the weights matter. Shocking. Packs in these two identical tins, you will be surprised. And then you are showing the two tins. The click pays off. It is accurate to what is being said in the intro. The title, thumbnail, all that stuff is accurate. Doesn't necessarily mean it couldn't be better, because you said these are identical tins, and then you did work on the thumbnail to make them less than identical. You've put a question mark here, you put sword and shield here, and you've made these tins look not identical. And that's my issue. You already had that with the grams. So you've done work here to confuse the audience, and that's just my critique there. I'm picking this apart. I think you're doing a great job. Overall, I think this is a really strong start. I think your editing is strong. I think your audio quality is good. I would say that the sound effects that you're using are a little bit loud just compared to you, if I'm to really nitpick, but nothing too egregious. I'm wearing headphones. I didn't feel like I needed to throw them off my head like some people do with sound effects. They were fine, just a little bit loud. I would say, though, just to answer the question and just to do the normal thing we do in video reviews, here's the part I would have cut out of your intro.
16 gram difference. There has to be something good in this heavy one. Welcome to Thrill.
That, by the way, was the stinger, but it was fine. It was really, really fast. Just that quick swoop intro with the sound.
Yeah, that's fast enough to where it doesn't bug me.
Yeah, but this right after it is what I would cut.
Welcome to Thrill of the Chase, helping you build your collection one video at a time for the best price possible.
Yeah, that's not needed.
Yeah, the tagline, this is something I'm going to learn about you as I continue watching your channel. All that stuff you just said, that was another 6 seconds in your video that didn't need to be there. And that, like as you know, from looking at your retention, the intros are very, very important. So you're saying 40 to 50% stick around for the intro. I think that number could be much higher. I think you could be in the 70s. I think you could be in the 80s. But I would condense this intro even more. Welcome back to Thrill of the Chase. I already know I'm here. You're the title of your channel is right there. I'm helping you do this. I'm kind of getting that sense from you just based on the set, based on your interest in this topic. I'm here because I want your help. So you don't have to remind me. I think the tagline is nice. It's not like it's a long tagline. It's just not needed. It's valuable seconds in that very, very sensitive early part of a video.
We got these tins in 2019. One of them weighs 262 grams. One of them weighs 246 grams. Will six.
Went to Jeff's advice of not showing your face for this part. What if they were on the scale? Giving credibility to what you're saying. Because right now I have to take your word for it. And I'm not saying you're lying. I just think for B-roll purposes, that could be really, really interesting. If you took a shot with your camera after you filmed your video and you showed them on the scale and you were just kind of panning over them left to right, you know, this one weighs this one weighs that. I believe you. Maybe you have two scales so you can put them side by side. These types of props and things that you can get for your channel are these are the microscopic improvements that you make to your content. When we talk about improving 1% at a time, that is that 1% improvement we'd love to see for future videos. Just giving a little more credibility and making the content more dynamic. So that's what I would say. And that's just focusing on your intro. Overall, very, very strong channel here. And I would go back, look at what we said yesterday about titles and thumbnails and see what you can parse from that. See if there's anything of interest to you in that advice that you would want to try and apply to your upcoming videos, and keep at it, because I think you're in a really good space here on YouTube, and I think you have a lot of knowledge, and that definitely shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Cool. We did it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got one more that I was going to put up here from Will's Anime Corner. Love you guys.
Thank you, Will.
Love you back.
Love you back. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your super chats. Thanks for watching today. Look out on Friday. We'll have a new video going out. Look out on Monday. We'll have a new video going out. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Was that like 11 Pacific? We will have
11 Pacific. Mm-hmm.
More and more live streams where we look at your channels. That's it.
Yeah.
Go away. Get out. Get out of my room. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I do want you to leave though. But I'll close the door on you instead.